Hi, I want to talk about the film Flow, which had its premiere in 2024. I bought it. It's a brilliant animated film. I watched it in 2025 when it came to UK cinemas. But coincidentally, I'd watched the director's first film, Away, a few years ago on streaming service. I didn't know anything about it. I just saw it, took a punt on it, and I'm so glad I did. The film Away wowed me. It was simple yet stunning. I wonder how many animators must kick themselves they didn't think of something similar. They're broad brushstrokes, but yet attention to detail. And after Away, then a few years, I think Away was 2019, Flow 2024, and I watched 2025. And the moment I finished Flow, it was love at first sight, and I had to own it. I knew it. So I'm glad I bought this because it comes with both Away and Flow, so I rewatched them both in 4K. I'm glad I bought it. And then I'm going to be mostly talking about Flow, but referencing Away as well because there's some similarities. I think both Flow and Away would be dreamy travelogues, if not for the peril. There's existential dread woven into a strive for survival. Both are stunning animations without any dialogue, and Flow is a step up from Away, so I can't wait to see what the director does after Flow, if it's another big leap forward. Because I think Flow, this might be bold, can be talked about in the same breath as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Flow's animation style, it feels so fresh. It feels like a game changer in the same way as Into the Spider-Verse did. The plot of Flow is simple. The focus is a cat attempting to survive a catastrophic flood, and is joined along the way by animals and a bird. Flow is not Madagascar. The film is grounded in believable reality, but also impressively, it sits comfortably with the fantastical. For example, the architecture in Flow reminds me of that in The Lord of the Rings. And throughout Flow, the question lingers throughout the runtime: where are the beings that created these amazing structures? And I think that's what also adds to Flow's excellence, is that you ponder the film long after you've finished watching it. That's why I can't recommend it highly enough. There is Flow has a non-anthropomorphized cat as its focus, and then we watch as a sudden deluge comes into its sphere, and it is gut clenching. Have you seen the film The Impossible, starring Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts? That will give you an example of how stressful a water deluge must be to be part of, or to have it hit you. The film The Impossible shows that it's not only drowning that is something to be afraid of, but also the fast flowing debris in the water can shred organic matter. So yeah, check out The Impossible as well as an example of why, for those who've already seen it before Flow, can even more imagine the scariness of a sudden flood. And interestingly, along with the unanswered questions that keep the film enigmatic, there's this abandoned house that the cat seems to stay in every so often, and then there's the boat in a tree, and you wonder, has this flood happened before? Is it cyclical? The flood in Flow is so big; it feels like primordial. It feels dystopian. And of course, you might have seen Darren Aronofsky's Noah film. The cat hero in the film, he doesn't speak, but he looks, or he or she, looks exhausted. And it is exhausting watching the peril it finds itself in. Flow is like a mixture of tension and thrills. It's also moving and awe-inspiring. It's not only a white knuckle ride though, but also a joyous experience. When you watch both Away and Flow, you'll note, I think, if you have a similar taste to me, that the lively musical scores for both those films complement and enhance the beauty of the vistas in the films, while also dialing up the tension and excitement. It's a skillful compositions in the films. And both films also have this wonderful camera work. The camera rolls and sweeps. It also rotates and soars and roves and flows in both films. I was gripped. For me, Flow is a cross between Life of Pi and Ponyo, the Hayao Miyazaki film. Check out Ponyo. They're all like epic journeys of survival. They're odysseys. So check out Life of Pi, the film directed by Ang Lee, and Ponyo, the animated film as well. So put those on your list. In Flow, the creatures demonstrate personalities and intelligence. For example, they work out quickly how to use a rudder in a boat. And their bond offsets the fearful predicament. Flow celebrates the possibility of the deep well of love and camaraderie, irrespective of species. Audiences can apply their own interpretations to the allegory and commentary with regards to flood and the interspecies friendship. Flow, has an elating sense of wonder. It is an extraordinary adventure. And I really recommend you put it on your list. I'm glad it won the Oscar for Best Animated Film. And I have some other recommendations after you hopefully watch Flow. So for those who, for like the animated films, let's start with the blockbusters. The ones involving creatures, fellowship, and who are in tough environments. So put these on your list. Ice Age, The Wild Robot, WALL-E, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. The Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is, it has an exciting animation style as well, like Into the Spider-Verse. WALL-E, for me, maybe, I don't know whether this is controversial or not, it's Pixar's best film. And The Wild Robot's a recent film, and Ice Age as well. So creatures and living beings stuck in sometimes extreme circumstances, especially Ice Age, and they're on journeys. Then also I would like, if you have time, check out some smaller animated films. The Red Turtle and Watership Down. Put those two on your list. And for those who want to explore more realism, but also a fantastic sense of wonder, check out some documentaries. These three are about human beings or humankind and our relationship with nature. So check out Samsara, Baraka, and I hope I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Koyaanisqatsi. So put those two on your list. And if you want like films without dialogue, like from the silent movie era, then there's an electric silent movie from director Buster Keaton, also starring Buster Keaton. It's called Sherlock Jr. Sherlock Jr. Put that on your list. And my final recommendation is about humans and the primordial. So I'll put this film on your list. It's called Quest for Fire. Yeah, it's really impressive. A really impressive film. Quest for Fire. I hope you enjoyed my recommendations, and if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and like the video.